Well, this week, President Obama will address the nation in what will certainly be one of his most important speeches to date. It's supposed to lay out his strategy to deal with the international crisis of Islamic militants and the immediate threat of ISIS. President Obama gave us a preview of his plan yesterday, and he explained why it's important to build a broad international coalition to defeat ISIS and other extremist groups.
We're going to need Sunni states to step up, not just Saudi Arabia, our partners like Jordan, United Arab Emirates, Turkey. They need to be involved.
Well, we'll hear more from the president coming up about his golf outing after the beheading of an American journalist, and also why he's decided to delay executive action on immigration. But back to ISIS. Senator Dianne Feinstein, the Democratic chair of the Senate Intel Committee, says the White House needs to act fast, but she is mostly satisfied that a solid plan is coming together.
The formation of the coalition of the 9 nations, plus any regional countries that come into it, can be very effective in dividing the burden and really making an offensive push against ISIS.
Well, Feinstein admits that Americans are war-weary, but the threat of ISIS cannot be ignored. And today in Washington, the House and Senate head back to work, and tomorrow the president will brief members on his ISIS strategy before his speech. Also, on the congressional agenda, legislators must pass a spending bill by the end of this month to keep the government running. They'll also need to act quickly so they can get back to their districts and their campaigns ahead of these crucial midterm elections. And comedic legend Joan Rivers got her wish Sunday. Her funeral was Hollywood all the way. Some celebrities included journalist Barbara Walters, comedian Whoopi Goldberg, and Donald Trump. Rivers was a trailblazer for all comics, but especially women.
It's just so inspiring that she was 81 years old and one of the funniest people in the business. Regardless of being a woman, regardless of her age, she was one of the funniest people in the business.
Well, Howard Stern delivered the eulogy at Temple Emmanuel in New York yesterday. Rivers died last week after she went into cardiac arrest during surgery on her vocal cords. The cause of that death is still being investigated. And severe storms hit the southeast yesterday, and check this out. Pilots at an airport near Atlanta were forced to run for cover when heavy winds flipped over several planes. Nearly a dozen of those planes were damaged. The winds moved the planes nearly 100 yards, but fortunately, there were no injuries reported. Now we have more.